ID, call forwarding, call waiting, and call blocking.
I think it's time you cut the blue wire.
Cut the blue wire. Save up to $250 on your phone features with RevVoice. Get RevVoice. Save money.
Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, the date for the referendum on gender equality is set. Hundreds protest the state of the New Providence landfill, and the latest on another round of talks to get Baha Mar up and running. Welcome to our news. I'm Christina McNeil. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, the date has been set, and on June 7th, Bahamians will go to the polls to vote on issues of gender equality. Today, Prime Minister Perry Christie dismissed concerns that the proposed constitutional changes will lead to same-sex marriage in the country, noting the referendum is about making Bahamian men and women equal under the law.
In the Bahamas, by law, under the Matrimonial Causes Act, marriage must be between a man and a woman, and this amendment will not change that. So for all who would wish to hear, this amendment will not change the requirement for marriage between a man and a woman. This referendum will not cause same-sex marriage to become legal in the Bahamas. Marriage in the Bahamas will be only or legal only if it is between a man and a woman and male and female as determined at birth.
Christie says there have been no cases in Commonwealth countries like the Bahamas with Westminster-style constitutions where the right to non-discrimination on the basis of sex has led to a right to same-sex marriage. He says it will not happen in the Bahamas.
I am so emphatic because it is so important for Bahamians to vote on what is really at stake. Equal rights for our sons and daughters, and not let false rumors or incorrect information hold sway.
The Prime Minister says the referendum does not seek to change Bahamian society or traditional values, rather to ensure that the Constitution reflects Bahamian values and the commitment to fairness. Well, co-chairs of the Yes Bahamas campaign on gender equality today encouraged Bahamians to thoughtfully examine the issues before deciding to vote yes or no on June 7th. Co-chair and former Senate President Lynn Holowesko says in recent months she has been disappointed to learn that good people in the country say they will either vote no or not at all without examining the issues.
If we do, in fact, claim to be Christian, and I know we do, it should be of significance to us, great significance, that the shepherds of our religious communities have encouraged support of these changes to our Constitution.
Co-chair and current Senate President Sharon Wilson adds that there has never been a more perfect time for change.
That our nation's fundamental legal document does not reflect what we as a society believe and have worked so very hard to achieve.
Wilson says she hopes that on June 8th, citizens of the Bahamas will wake up knowing they have achieved a huge victory for generations to come. In other news, hundreds of protesters marched on Cable Beach as the Inter-American Development Bank wrapped up its final day of meetings at the Baha Mar Convention Center. Protesters wearing black t-shirts and surgical masks took their silent protests around the boardwalk and convention center, protesting for their right to clean air.
Well, landfill and the dump. We've got to do something about it. It's been going on for many years, and it's a big issue, and it's affecting us every night, all of the citizens everywhere, and it's closing schools, and it's going to make people very sick eventually.
For all these years that are on my sign, we've been suffering from burn fires, and it needs to stop. We can't continue living like this. So it is important because it's affecting my family. Now I have kids. The first few years, well, I was able to get on with it, but with kids now and with it continuing, it's time to stop.
Well, I want to breathe clean air because, well, clean air is healthy for the Bahamas, and if you don't have clean air, some people get cancer and asthma, and if you get cancer and asthma, sometimes it could kill you and stuff like that. So, breathe clean air, Bahamas!
One of the protest organizers, Jacqueline Lightbourne, says she hopes the protest can encourage change at the government level.
This is our health. That is the most important thing in your life. If you can't have clean air, then nothing else matters.
And how do you feel about having like hundreds of people here supporting this?
It's a great turnout. I'm so happy that everybody came out. This just shows that, you know, we're backing this up, and it's very important to us, and something needs to change.
Our news will bring you more from today's protest in a later newscast. Well, police are investigating the death of a man who was killed Saturday afternoon. According to police, a man was sitting in front of a convenience store on Farrington Road when he was approached by a man driving a silver Honda Fit who fired shots before speeding off. Police say a woman standing nearby was also shot during the incident. The man was pronounced dead at the scene, while the female victim was transported to the hospital for treatment. Reports are she is in stable condition. Police say the vehicle used in that shooting was reported stolen and was later found burnt on Dean's Lane. Police are asking anyone with information on this incident to contact them at 911, 919 or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. And 5 men are in police custody after police made a major drug bust on Inagua Saturday. Drug Enforcement Unit officers say it was around 7 p.m. Saturday when they conducted a search of a 90-foot Haitian freighter on Inagua. The investigation, assisted by the U.S. Coast Guard and Drug Enforcement Administration, found cocaine in several hidden compartments on board the ship. DEU Chief Samuel Butler explains.
Within the bedding of the concealed compartment, we were able to remove some 138 kilos of cocaine. The cocaine has a street value of $2.4 million.
Butler says police have intelligence that this drug seizure has a Bahamian link. The 5 Haitian men in police custody are now assisting with the investigation. In other news, the Prime Minister is encouraged after meeting with high-level officials from the government of China this morning. Prime Minister Christie today telling reporters that he believes the meetings went well, but we will have to wait until those officials return to China to learn more.
Today, I met with the governor of the central bank of China, who's visiting the Bahamas at the conference on his way to Washington, and we had a very enlightened and full discussion on Bahama, and I'm satisfied that the points that I made with respect to the urgency that is needed was understood. The meetings were very productive, I thought, but you'll only know whenever they return to China and the messages imparted and shared with the meetings reaches the people who make those decisions. And so I thought the meetings were very productive, and I was encouraged by them.
Christie says everyone attending the IDB meetings asked the same question. When will Baha Mar be completed and open for business?
The urgency for us is to get the bank either to announce a new purchaser, and in that regard, I've even had discussions with Sarkis Ismailian, who is in fact also concerning himself with having the bank consider applications he has made.
As for rumored layoffs at the resort, which is still stalled, Christie says he is always saddened when people lose their jobs.
The longer we wait to resume construction and open the resort, the more likely are there to be layoffs, because the bank is carrying a staff, and we are trying to push as quickly as possible to get Bahama opened, meaning that construction to resume